Hi guys, my name is Daniel Golan from the Building Inspection Specialist. Today I've been ordered to carry out a building inspection on this place. This place isn't too old, it's in good condition by the look of it, but there is always things we can find, and I'll show you a bit about the things we find later. Before we get started, let me tell you a bit about myself. I've been in the building game for 22 years now, starting off as a carpenter, then progressing through to a builder, and for the last 7 years I've been carrying out building inspections alone. During this time I've done thousands of building inspections, and it never ceases to amaze me what we do find on different places. Especially places that look fine from the outside, you think everything's okay, and suddenly we find a massive fault. Today we're going to show you a bit about the process of doing a building inspection and things we look for. So come take a ride and we'll show you how it's done. Once we enter the building, we carry out the inspection in the same way every time. I go in a clockwise direction around the house and I'm torching the cornices, the skirtings, the walls, the ceiling and all building members. This way we don't miss any defects we find because it's done the same way thousands and thousands of times. Let me just show you what we actually do. I torch along the skirting. Any faults there we pick up. The same thing, we just continue it along and go up the internal cornices. Always going along the cornice line. If there's any movement of the trusses or pitched roof, will show up in the cornice and you'll get a defect there which we further investigate later once we get the roof void. Then we go over the wall looking for any defects. We continue like this around the whole house and do it in the same direction for the fact that we don't miss any spots at all in the house. One of the most common faults we find doing building inspections is leaking showers. A shower that can look pretty nice, no problems at all, we find faults with. That's where the moisture meter comes in handy. It picks up any moisture behind the shower recess or in the wall cavity. Some showers can look like they're not leaking, look fine. We discover they're leaking and there's big dramas there. So that's one thing we do pick up on a lot of houses. As you can see in here, this shower base looks very good. It's all sealed, the silicon's in place. It looks like it's got fall. We always run the shower as well to make sure there's fall to the waste. So this looks good to me, but we never know the true extent till we get behind the wall and hit it with the moisture meter. Now we're in the ensuite, I've just discovered a fine crack to the floor tiles. You may not be able to see it on the camera, but where my finger is, there's a hairline crack all the way along that corner of tile. As well as in that internal corner, there's another crack. This tells me to further investigate and obviously check the other side of the wall for any moisture penetration. So what we'll do is get the moisture meter, go out there and check it and make sure there's no other damage in that area. What we've done now is come to the rear of that ensuite shower. We've seen the cracked tiles there, so what we do is further investigate the areas. That's what we do with all defects. We find out where they are, then we further investigate to see how we can fix the problem or how much damage it has caused. So what we do here, I'll run my torch along that area, closely looking at the areas that are affected by those cracked tiles. I can't see any visual damage, but that can be hidden by paint straight away, so we never take it for granted that it's okay. What I do now is run my moisture meter along that area. It shows any defects, any moisture entering the wall cavity, stands out on this thing. A freshly painted wall, we can't see any defects, but this shows up hidden defects behind the newly painted wall. So let's put the moisture meter along the wall and we'll check it out. As I'm running the moisture meter along the wall, it's showing no high readings at the moment. But as we enter the shower area, the moisture meter starts to go off. That's telling me water is penetrating into the wall cavity. So this area needs to be fixed, and it's not as simple as that. Sometimes it needs to be fully re-gutted, re-waterproofed and re-tiled to make that shower good. So those two cracked tiles can cause thousands of dollars of damage. That's why we're here to pick up those faults for you. A very common problem we do find whilst doing inspections is rising damp in masonry walls. To the naked eye, and especially freshly painted walls, you won't see this. By using the moisture meter, we can tell if there's any moisture and the levels they're at in the masonry walls. So let's put the moisture meter on this brick wall and have a look and see how we go. I can tell straight away there is some rising damp to the brickwork. It isn't too high in this area, but as I go up further, it is getting very high. And whether you can see it on camera, behind that paint you can see old paint flaking off, which is a good indicator there is rising damp in this area and it needs to be fixed. Major damage like this can cost thousands of dollars, so just be aware to get everything checked out properly. To the average eye, these doors look like they've got a lot of weather damage. However, not all defects cost a lot of money to fix. We pick up the major defects as well as the minor ones. By simply removing these doors, give them a good sand back, a coat of stain or paint, and they'll be fine for a lot of future years. Another common thing we find doing inspections is cracking to masonry walls, or brickwork for that matter. It is very common, and most places you find some cracks. Some are just settlement cracks, however others are structural cracks. When we find a large structural crack, I refer it to an engineer. These are very important as it can cost you thousands to repair these issues. So cracking to brickwork, we detail in full extent, take photos of the areas and nominate what procedures to do from there on every job we do. Hi guys, I'm back inside now. I'll just give you a quick rundown on how we carry out a building inspection. What we do is gain access. We do a room by room analysis, carefully going in a clockwise direction, covering all aspects internally of the house. We do the floors, the walls, the ceilings, doors, windows. We cover all areas. After this, we gain access into the roof void. In the roof void, we're checking for timber members, bracing, insulation, isolation, any leaks, any flashings that are damaged. So we check out all these areas in the roof void. It's very detailed because major problem can happen there. Once we're out of the roof void, we go to the exterior of the dwelling. On the exterior, we're checking the gutters, the roof, the fascias, pergolas, all the masonry brickwork, paths, eave lining. We check it all out in detail. From there, we do the outbuildings. When doing the outbuildings, we cover an area of 50 metres around the dwelling. So that includes any sheds, garages, pergolas, freestanding structures, they all get inspected. We check out retainer walls, fencing, paths, so it's very comprehensive. After that, we do the roof. So we're checking out the gutters, the roof flashings, make sure the fixings are right, the hold downs are okay. Once we've carried out the full inspection of the dwelling and the outbuildings, we give you a fully insured written report with photos of any defects. This report we get to you within 24 hours for you to call us and go through all the issues. We're happy to take your call and go through them step by step if you don't understand. So if you need a hand doing an inspection, please give us a call or look at our website. Our details are below. Thanks a lot.